the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of life. These are not your traditional Miranda rights, but convey the tacit pressure placed on gay and lesbian people in our society. Call them your Carmen Miranda rights, if you will. Our cultural vocabulary is littered with phrases engineered to suppress, or at least construe against, the LGBT voice. He's living on the down low. She has skeletons in her closet. He's the one we don't talk about. Of course, there's the pronouncement from Oscar Wilde's young lover, Lord Alfred Douglas. I am the love that dare not speak its name. Please don't think these notions are antiquated. Within our own generation, we can claim 4 pristine words in our national defense. Don't ask, don't tell. As you may know, an appalling number of the thousands of soldiers dismissed under this policy were foreign language experts. Volumes of documents intercepted from Al-Qaeda, backlogged because dozens of the servicemen and women discharged under this policy were specialized in Arabic. Don't ask, don't tell, don't translate. One political pundit observed that this sends the message that our government is more threatened by homosexuality than terrorism. This whispering wave does not only surround the LGBT community, it penetrates it as well. The AIDS Coalition to Unleash Power, ACT UP, adopted as its slogan the wake-up call, silence equals death. Even queer comic Kate Clinton has observed this verbal embargo. Some women can't say the word lesbian, even when their mouth is full of one. We must untie our tongues. We must break our silence. Anais Nin wrote, "There came a time when the risk it took to remain tight in the bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom." Some PFLAG parents have echoed the sentiment that when your kid comes out, you have a coming out experience of your own. Every spring, high schools and colleges commemorate the National Day of Silence, an occasion for solidarity with those recognizing a ban placed on discussing, let alone expressing, a positive gender variant identity. Friedrich Nietzsche wrote, "Is life not 100 times too short to stifle ourselves? Each person has too much to offer in dignity, power, and worth." Silence has never brought us anything of worth. These are the words of Audre Lorde, a poet, teacher, and activist. She was supremely qualified to speak on the subject of silence as a member of 3 classes of people who have gently and not so gently been silenced, muted in our society: a woman, an African American, and a lesbian. I have come to believe over and over again that what is most important to me must be made verbal and shared, must be spoken, made verbal and shared, even at the risk of being bruised or misunderstood. In preparing to speak with you today, another word came up in some of these quotes as much as silence: risk. The risk to remain silent, the risk to remain tight in the bud, the risk it took to blossom, the risk of being bruised or misunderstood. Simply, the risk of self-ownership. "There is but one life for each of us," wrote Euripides. our own. When we started this Toastmasters group in 2005, we had the assignment of choosing a name for our club. After batting around a few names alluding to our midtown or state line geography and a few referring to our LGBT focus, we elected to call ourselves Hear Me Out Toastmasters. I had some qualms about the name at first, thinking it might be glib or jokey. Hear me out? Get it? Wink, wink. More significantly, I felt the name carried an unhappy connotation. To me, the phrase, hear me out, was an interjection meant to shout someone down in the course of an argument. We're not a debate club, anything but we're here to support our mutual development. At last I realized, hear me out is not argumentative, it's assertive. In the course of an argument, when you exclaim, hear me out, you are declaring your stance. I have something to say and demand your respect. You must listen to me because I have a point to make. My opinion, my wisdom, my experience has value. I'm privileged to speak to you today. Some say coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence, but that God chooses to remain anonymous. Today is a very special, now is a special time in the history of this club, for many reasons. 12 years ago this month, a group of women and men assembled in a church basement on State Line Road and took the risk of asking whether the gay and lesbian population of Kansas City had anything to say for themselves. Today, we are here. 48 years ago this month, a group of women and men assembled inside and around the Stonewall Inn Tavern in New York City, and with their hands and their voices and the soles of their feet refused to remain silent. And today we are all here. The silence continues to break. The heirs to the daughters of Bilitis and the Mattachine Society can take for granted the courage it took to declare gay is good, and we're here, we're queer, get used to it. Couples walking in the footsteps of their LGBT forebears are now walking down the aisle in every state of our nation, in increasing numbers, to speak two of the most powerful, precious, and jubilant words in our language. I do. An anonymous author wrote, no matter how far in or out of the closet you are, there is always a next step. These first 12 years of Hear Me Out Toastmasters have been a tremendous journey I have shared with many of you watching now. I will leave you with one more quote from Audre Lorde. When we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard or welcomed. But if we are silent, we are still afraid. So it is better to speak. Thank you for hearing me.